Former Army officer Mark Hamstra served in Afghanistan for a year in 2009. He helped train the Afghan Army during that time, and he joins us this morning on Zoom. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Yeah, wonderful. I appreciate you having me here.
I think one of the big questions people were asking in the wake of all this is what happened to the Afghan Army. Did that surprise you? How do you account for them essentially just kind of negotiating to give up?
Yeah, I think it's something we've all wrestled with, right? I'm obviously not an expert, but we'll share, my perspective from being there for a year and serving closely alongside the Afghan Army. So I would say there was a significant amount of surprise, but I would also say I wasn't shocked, right? And so I think it's an and there, right? I served alongside a lot of brave Afghan soldiers. And so there was this initial reaction of surprise, right? To see it fall that quickly. But then when you step back and really reflect, there were signs, right? And I think there were signs we could point to from my time there. There were great leadership. There was great units we served alongside with great leadership. These were guys who had fought alongside or fought against the Russians in the 80s and fought for the Afghan independence. And there were other units where it was clear, that there was this great disparity between the good units and ones that really struggled. And it was not hard to sort of smell some of the corruption, right, and some of the poor leadership. And so there was this disparity, right? But still, I think a sense of surprise to see how quickly it fell.
Mark, we've been there for 20 years, many American lives lost during that period of time. What do you hope is the legacy that is left behind as we finally close this chapter?
It's hard to think about the legacy, to be honest. I think for most of us, it's just this feeling of kind of hurt right now. Like it's been a sort of a series of punches to the gut is what it's felt like over the last 2 weeks. I was there. We all gave something and we all left something there, right? And I think about my experience. I spent a year there. My first son was born there, and I missed that, right? But that's just my experience. So many gave more. Like we're talking about years, right, and multiple tours, and those who didn't come home or who didn't come home whole. And so for me, I think a lot about that. There's not a day that goes by where I don't think about that I'm home and that I came home whole and I'm able to be a father, right, and able to work and all those things.
Yeah.
But I think the legacy that I hope for is that I still do think there's hope, right? And then I think when you think about 20 years of impact, like I don't think the story is over, right? And so I think there's this sense of hurt, but I also think that the story is not done yet.
Yeah, so on that note, Mark, we fought 20 years ago to make sure there was not a base for terrorism, and now ISIS is moving back in. So do you feel that we could be either going back or we are much more vulnerable now?
Well, I think it's important to sort of differentiate, again, not the expert here, but differentiate between the Taliban and groups like Al-Qaeda and ISIS-K, right? And I think for many Americans, they don't necessarily understand that difference, right? And I think this whole situation has kind of brought that to light. They're very different organizations, right? And with different motives and there's some shared beliefs, of course, but they're very different, right? And so I think this kind of goes back to the debate for the last 20 years of what the true goal was in Afghanistan, right? And if it truly is just a counterterrorism goal, like can you do that without a large presence of troops? And so, again, I think the reality is that threat will not go away, right? And I think that still will be there. It's just a matter of how we figure out how we address that now without a significant portion of troops on the ground.
Marky, thanks so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Mark.
Absolutely. Appreciate you allowing me to be here.
7:30.